Hi, I'm Nathan Oakley and this is video log number 41. This video log has come from quite a surprising source. So my family, who I'm quite open with about being a flat earther, have been very concerned about me in the nicest possible way until my wife assured them that I'm just passionate about something I've found out and am putting a lot of effort into it. Now, my mother initially was concerned. Now she's phoning me up giving me Jupiter's Delight examples. So another psychopathic example of hiding the truth in plain sight. So what we have behind me is a still from a Channel 4 TV show called The Toast of London. Now the main character is called Toast and he is a voiceover artist and actor, and the general plot is that he's having to do live work in this show. So he's going to do a televised Hamlet and he's very nervous about it. So he goes on at the beginning of the show, he goes on to a early morning Lorraine, which is like a breakfast talk show, and after a few glasses of wine starts to talk about how he met Stanley Kubrick. And he explains that he was making a porno movie at Pinewood Studios, and then it fades into black and we're in a different scene. So that's all we get to hear at the early part of the show. It cuts to him being in an office with his agent, this rather stern looking lady, and she gets a phone call on a bright red telephone which flashes, and the phone call explains that Toast has been blabbing his mouth a little bit more than he should have done. Now she asks him, have you been talking about Kubrick? And he says, yes, I do vaguely remember talking about Kubrick, but it was only on Lorraine, who cares? And she explains that the information he's let out has the potential to bring down the entire US government and indeed the world. So she asks him, what exactly did you tell her? So he explains that while he was smoking a bit too much of the children in need, he accidentally wanders into stage D instead of stage B and walks onto the moon. So he finds himself on the set of the moon landings with Stanley Kubrick and the lander, and he's suddenly interacting with astronauts until Stanley Kubrick pins him up against the wall and says, if you tell a soul about this, we will hunt you down and erase you from existence. He then looks across and sees Richard Nixon. Now, obviously, this is a complete farce, but it isn't. It's hiding the truth in plain sight with a generous amount of farcical. Richard Nixon being on the set is a bit of a stretch, but by the same token, he's exposing the reality in a way that Matrix Decode would describe as being a reason that people can say, nah, it wasn't faked by Kubrick, you've just got that off a TV show. It's very clever programming, but at the same time, it's Jupiter's Delight. This is just the hilarity of them showing to us that we've had fake moon landings for a very long time. Now, I don't know if it's prevalent in the British media at the moment because we're once removed from the NASA fakery or what, but ultimately speaking, we're having quite a lot of this exposure to NASA fakery in adverts and TV shows. Now, unfortunately, I can't actually put the link to The Toast of London because it's a 4-on-demand show. I'm not sure of its availability in the States either, but I'm pretty sure you can sign up for a 4OD account with just a email and password. So it's worth a try if you can see it. I think it's Series 3 episode 2 or series 2 episode 3, one or the other, and it's actually called Over the Moon. Now it ends with them in a lot of paranoia and lots of people telling him that he's an idiot, a complete fool for talking about the moon landings in such a manner and that it's obviously all in his head and fantasy. However, towards the end of the show, the agent who got the phone call on the red telephone gets assassinated, and then he has an impersonator doing his job for him on the side, and the CIA agent who assassinates his agent follows what he thinks is Toast to the recording studio, hears the sort of Mickey take guy, the guy who's pretending to be Toast, do his voice, and then shoots him. So we end with the CIA hunting down the perpetrators of the exposure of the lie and killing them once they find out who's involved. Obviously Toast doesn't really die, it's his doppelganger or the guy that's pretending to be him that ends up being killed. So another priceless British example of putting the truth in plain sight and having a damn good laugh at us at the same time. I've been Nathan Oakley. I'll see you in the next video.